Hey, hey, hey. What's happening, y'all? What's going on? We back, we back, we back, we back, we that. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Think Black Podcast with your one and only host, the Black of the Blacks. Black. Yeah, that's my name, Black. For those of y'all that's new, just tuning in, I appreciate y'all for coming and listening to you guy. For those of y'all that been here before, appreciate y'all for coming and listening to you guy. I thank y'all for coming and tapping in. Listen to me once again. Hearing your boy spit his ism. You know what I'm saying? Spit his little ones and twos. So for y'all that don't know, man, if you ain't subscribed to the channel yet, man, please give me a subscribe, a follow, a like. Share me to one of your friends, your enemies, your dog, your cat. Share me to somebody. Let them know to tap in with you. Tap in with your boy, man. I'm a cool guy, man. I'm a cool guy. But anyway, we're gonna jump right into it, man, today. And I want to talk about something real serious that's going on. I'm pretty sure a lot are aware of it, but those that are not aware of it, I want to make you aware of it. So, what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about this big, big, big situation now where I'm only going to speak for Philadelphia. I know what's going on around the world, but I'm going to speak for Philadelphia about these children that's going missing. I'm seeing too many reports about these kids going missing. It's like every day I go onto the gram or on Facebook, it's a child missing. Child missing. Now, don't get me wrong. In most of the cases, I'm very, very, very glad that as I follow up on them, I see later on a lot of them say that the children were found, they were home safely. Or if I did see a post of a missing child, I'll go to the comments and things like that and see if the child was found. Now, if the child was found, I have no need to post that picture. Now, at the time when the child was missing, is when I would post it, to put awareness to anybody that might see the kid. I don't care if you see the kid in the store, if you see the kid walking down the street with their friends, a group of kids, and you recognize the kid. I'll put the post out there so you don't walk up to the kid and hey, we're looking for you. Don't do that because the kid know what's going on. Unless, wait, don't get me wrong. Unless you see them in a crazy situation that they're either walking with a man or a woman that looks like they're forcing them to walk. At that point, y'all just go all in. Just get my permission. If this kid look like they're trying to get away from the person, you go over there and check the shit out of that situation. You don't sit there and wait for the next person or sit in your car and be like, oh, that look crazy and sit there for a while. No, go over there and approach the situation. You might be wrong, but who cares? It's better to know and better to stop it instead of you seeing whatever kid that was, whatever adult you see them with, or whoever you seen them with, and then later on down the line, you see a news report to say that this person has passed, and knowing that you were sitting right there in front of that person because God or the universe put you in that particular time at that moment to see that missing person, and instead of you reacting, you did what the rest of the world would probably do and just mind your business and sit on your phone or call somebody else instead of immediately jumping on it, But I want that to be a thing now. If you see any kids or anything, any kids that look like they're in some type of distress from somebody that they shouldn't be around, whatever. I don't care if you in Walmart or somewhere and you hear a kid and they're a grown person or a grown adult going back and forth with some be news. You open your ears, hear what they're arguing about. Make sure it makes some sense because you don't want it to be an argument to be like, well, I want to go home now and you're not supposed to take me. And they're like, shut up, don't say nothing if you do, Like just certain weird stuff like that. So just keep y'all ears and eyes open for these children, man. Because I know a lot of people, they'll say like a lot of these kids are runaways, and don't get me wrong. I'm not taking that out of the factor at all either. Because, we still living in a time just as, when you were growing up, because I know when I was growing up, it was the same thing. But it wasn't really called runaways back then. We were just like, we were rebellious. I can say that we were rebellious, and we would just stand at our homies' cribs, houses. I'm sorry. We would stand at our homies' houses, or probably with a girl or something like that, or laid up. I'm speaking on me as a young man coming up back then. But me personally, I always called and just, check in. And it's not the fact that me checking in. It just, I lived with my grandmother. I was raised with my grandmother. So it's like, I know she's older. I want to make sure she's cool. I know she's wondering about me and wondering if I'm cool, but I call every night to make sure she's cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I always stayed in the loop with my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? But, you do have these rebellious kids. You have these kids that's got these messed up households. Let's be real. Some of these kids is growing up in these messed up households, and these kids don't even be wanting to go home half the time. That's why these kids be just hanging out in these stupid places. See kids hanging out on SEPTA, you know what I mean? Or I mean on public transportation, or hanging out like, let's call it where we would wait for our trains at, which is like an underground thing where we wait for our trains at. But you see kids hanging out there after school. Kids don't want to go home. They want to hang out into the schoolyard and stuff like that. Like, I know that stuff we used to do back then, but honestly, when I was coming up and it was time to get out of school, man, we was rushing home to go watch the latest TV show, We was going home to go watch some Family Matters or something like that, or play our video game, or our new Nintendo or something like that, or Super Nintendo around the time, or Sega, whatever had came out at the time. But we wanted to go home. When we were kids, we wanted to go home. We loved our home. We wanted to go there and chill. But yeah, man. But back onto these kids, man. Like, let's not jump off the whole thing of these kids going missing. Now, like I said, it is some rebellious kids, but then we still live in a time where there are crazy people, and I'm tired of everybody trying to like make it like, well, as long as you diagnose them and give them medicine, no, they're cool. Listen, man, it was a time in life where there were kidnappers. How do you think all these serial killers and all that got their fame and all that? I don't know how the hell is fame, but got all their, I guess, publicity and all that other shit from the things they did. Remember the Jeffrey Dahmers and things like that. These were regular people living in a regular neighborhood, snatching children or snatching people. So if you think these guys back then, the Dwayne Gacy's and like I say, the Dahmers and all them other guys, if they had the mentality to do that back then, what do you think now? Because we in 2025, that stuff stopped? You think people stopped thinking that way? That's what kills me about people. You act like oh, because these killers back in the day, they're dead now, and that's nothing to revamp that, because all that is a mental thing. That's somebody that's brain is not plugged in all the way, and it just tells them to just do harm to others. That's what that is. And that doesn't stop in no lifetime. It doesn't matter what year we're in, what lifetime we're in. That's going to always happen. You're going to have psychopaths still. You're going to have people that's out here snatching kids. You're going to have people that's out here that's just killing kids. Like, you're going to have this kind of stuff in the world now. It didn't just die away. It didn't go away. Like, it did not disappear. Serial killers did not disappear. Kidnappers did not disappear. They did not go nowhere. They're still here. It's just now the times change. They don't publicize it as much on the propaganda news as they should. See, now they just hit us with the killings and this, that, and the third and all that. They don't say that it's been a string of this happening, or a string of certain women getting taken, or a string of certain kids in a certain neighborhood. They don't promote that because they don't want to get that word serial out there anymore, to be like, oh, there's a serial kidnapper, there's a serial killer, there's a serial rapist. They don't want to do that no more. You know, so in everybody's mind, they're like, these people don't even exist no more. But those people are still alive and breathing. It's just they're working at a higher rate because they're not publicizing it. So we don't know what to look for. If we know the signs and what to look for, we can be on point when we see it happening. But I get back to these kids going missing. Like I just said, even things like that, like that's something that to really keep in your mind. Like every kid is not a runaway. Every kid isn't just, rebelling out. This kid might have walked home from school and somebody jumped out of a car and grabbed this kid. Like I want you to think about that part. And I know it's never something to really think about until you're in the situation. That's why people, take it so lightly until they're in the situation. But why wait until someone snatches your innocent child, and by the time you realize it or get to call the police, because if I'm correct, I believe they say your child got to be missing for a certain amount of hours in order for it to be considered them missing. And I'm guessing it's on the sense of, well, they might have just ran away and stayed at a friend's house for a couple of days, this and the third. I get that. But you want to know the flip side to that coin is, what if they're not at their friend's house for them past 2 days or that day? You know where that kid is probably at? That kid is probably halfway across the world. That kid is probably laying unconscious somewhere. That kid could be having some type of nonsense done to them that they shouldn't have done to them, all within this 1 to 2 day span that we have to wait. Like, that's ridiculous. I believe that once you realize that your kid is missing, man, this is why it's good to always keep in contact with your kid. Get to know your kid. I know we think we know our children. We know this little innocent kid that you just gave the tablet to, and you just bought the dinosaur shoes for, or the little tutu dress, or the little barrettes. I understand you want to always keep that alive. But the reality is there's people out here that want to harm your kid. There's people out here with wicked intentions to harm a child or an adult. But right now we're basing it on these missing children. So I'm going to say to harm a child is these people are out here. They're alive and they're breathing. They're on the internet. They're outside in the world. Like, you just have to make your child aware of who these dangerous people are. Not have them scared of everybody. No, that's not the goal. The goal is to make them aware. Make them aware of these dangerous people. Make them aware what kind of person will try to sit there and groom you and tell you this, that, and the third. Get to know self so you can feel the vibrations coming from this person's body attaching to yours, and knowing that this vibration doesn't feel right. I shouldn't be talking to this person because this person's vibes feels weird or feels malicious. Like, make your kids aware. Get your kids more in tune with their self. You get more in tune with your kid to know that, oh, my kid would do this. My kid would stay out for a couple days. My kid would do that. My kid would, like, be real with yourself. I understand it's kind of a hard thing because you saying your kid messing up is saying you didn't do what you were supposed to do as a parent. I get that. But in all, for the safety of your kid, eat that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you didn't do what you were supposed to be doing, and make it better. Don't sit there and try to defend that you're not doing well and put your kids in risk and at harm. Just take that bullet that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, patch that up, and then just do what you got to do. Now that you know what you didn't do the first time, the second time around, you should be killing it. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, man, please keep an eye out for these missing kids, man, because there's too much of it going on. I'm going to keep posting it on my social medias to keep it aware, to keep it alive, to keep it breathing, to let people know that this is happening in real time. And I want people to realize, too, this could happen to your kid at any time. Life is not peaches and roses like we had 10 to 20 years ago. It's different now. And I want y'all to understand that. But look, I don't want to talk too much about that, man. I just want to say, man, please protect our children, man. All colors, all races, all nationalities, everything. Protect our children, man, please. And I thank y'all for coming and joining in with another episode of the Think Black Podcast with your host, the one and only, the blackest of the black, Black. That's my name, Black. I thank y'all, man, for coming. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.